Hello?
Yeah, I'm getting an invalid meeting ID when I sign it.
Do you have Aaron's phone number?
Well, let me look.
Yeah. I honestly think he forgot.
I know you reached out to him this morning.
I reached out to him the other day, not this morning.
Hmm. No, I do not.
I'll just call him and see if he remembers, because I love how this is recording.
We'll snip it off to the front. Have Ruby snip it off. Hmm. No, I gave him my phone number. I can see that. Hello.
He didn't answer.
Hello, Joanne. Hello, Rebecca. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Doing real good.
Good. I was hoping to be able to join on my laptop, but for some reason it says invalid meeting ID, so I'm,
You know, I didn't have that trouble, but Cindy had that trouble. So,
I mean, it's fine on the phone, so I guess that's what I'll do.
I wonder what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Rebecca, are you there? I'm mute. No, okay. Joanne, where are you calling from?
Norwalk, Ohio.
Norwalk, Ohio. I don't know where that's at.
Are you familiar with Cedar Point? And,
Yes, Sandusky
all
area.
right, so I'm like 25 miles south of there.
Okay.
Yeah, so not too far.
Are you all out of winter already?
It was 50 today and yeah, we had frost this morning, so not quite, not quite. The daffodils don't know what they want to do.
Not yet. Soon.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it was surprisingly it was 20 this morning, but I think it warmed up to the 40s here in Michigan. So
Ooh, we're at Michigan.
if you look at the map of Michigan, look at the tip of the thumb, go straight west to the shoreline where I'm at.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's where you can.
Look out the window here and I can see the Lake Huron.
Oh, okay. Well, my aunt lived in Lexington. She just sold her place on the lake there last September, I believe. We
Oh,
brought
wow.
her here to Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah. She's 83 years old and had just quit working 2 weeks before we brought her to Ohio.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, and then she keeps saying something about going back to work. I'm like, no, give it time, learn how to be retired.
No, we could always use door knockers, you know. If she,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
who's gonna say no to her?
Yeah, right. Good thinking.
Then I need some help on the fix and flip, but she knows how to hang drywall.
Well, we had her painting. We had gotten her a home to live in and it needed lots and lots of work. And she's like, I'll help. I'm like, okay, here's a paintbrush.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
She's getting around. She feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got this home before I even thought about being in real estate. And had I known, I probably would have negotiated because this was a fixer upper and we bought it in July 1st. So at the height of all the overpriced homes. But anyways, we found her place. Her goal was to be near a church and to have a place to do her sewing. We met both of those criteria.
Success. All right.
And it's something she can afford and have her dog there. So
Cubic zirconia.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we had the one guy, my husband's reminded me that my sister said it's a cubic zirconia in the rough. No, it's a diamond in the rough, but the contractor said, no, it's a cubic zirconia. Like, yeah, that's more like it.
Well, hopefully it's worth more than that.
Yeah. Well, she's happy and I would live there if she said, if you would live there, then, you know, before she's seen it, then it'll be fine for me. I said, yep, I would live there. There's a lot I would do to it, but I would live there.
it's important to be around family. So,
Yes.
in cases of emergency like that, not that Michigan's too far away, but it's probably still 5-6 hours for you.
Well, it took us like 4 hours to get to her place.
4 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
So now she's very close. You can see her every day if you want to.
Yep, she is 6 miles away.
Perfect. Well, that way she doesn't have to drive very far to come paint.
Right. Well, yeah, she don't really drive too much. She's starting to get afraid of that. So that is one thing I'm seeing. She's starting to not want to do that. But that's all right. She has friends from the church already, and they come and get her and they take her to senior center, and she sews and she helps clean the church, and life is good in her world, it seems like.
Church helps build good community.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. I recently moved. I sold my place in Dallas and moved to Michigan. And that's one of the things that's been very helpful. It's the church here. It's allowed me to blend in real quickly to the community. Also
Yeah.
helps I have family here and then friends. So
Is that why you moved back?
correct. My mother turned 80 last year,
Oh, nice.
and both my kids are in college here. So it's closer to home.
Mm-hmm. Did your mother take care of herself?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
good.
As she's gallivanting through Florida at the moment. So
Oh,
her
Hey, I'm so sorry to interrupt. I just got a message from Aaron. He is at the pediatrician with his daughter, who is
Uh-oh.
very sick. So he apologizes and has to reschedule. However, while we are all here, maybe we can talk about, where we are in our real estate and, who needs help and how we can help and how we can help us, that kind of thing. What do you think, Shane? Good idea?
good idea.
Okay.
I'm here. So if anybody has any questions, needs anything, otherwise, as Cindy knows, I can talk. So you'll have to wrangle me in a little bit.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to say hello and to introduce myself. This is the second, I'm sorry, I'm driving, going boxing, but this is the second call I've been able to make. I am a part of the Northern California, it's a small women's real estate group. How I was introduced, I believe it was through Cindy. I saw you on our board and you just messaged me, Cindy. So I'm here in Northern California. I'm in Sacramento, California, and I'm new to REI and just trying to make some connections, both for, financial and getting more and more information so that I can really get started in building legacy for myself, for my children. My youngest is at UC Merced now, and so I'm just about an empty nester, and I'm just ready to get started. So I just wanted to say hello to everyone. If you see my face, I'm new and I'm here to learn.
Well,
Thanks
thank
for
you
having me.
for joining us. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Sacramento's a great area.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of empty lots, like everywhere. I think my eye is just more in tune now.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm seeing a lot of houses, ugly houses and empty lots and just run down. So I'm just like, wow. So I can't wait to just learn more, get started and just jump. And, so I'm ready.
I have that interest as well. So every time I drive anywhere, the house that's kind of run down a little bit, I'm like, ooh, I got to call on that one. I go knock on their door. Boy, they
Yeah.
look really cute if they painted it blue and put white trim on it.
Oh, yeah.
So I hear you on that. What kind of real estate investing are you thinking about doing? What kind of
I
goals?
wanted to start with wholesaling was really drawn to wholesale. I wanted to start with wholesaling and short-term rentals. I've just been hearing a buzz of quite a few people here in Sacramento that have been able to, and in, closer to me, the closer Bay Area, they've been able to go into contract with like town people that own townhouses and condos to
Yeah.
do, Airbnbs, do a contract. So I'm interested in that. I work full time. I work for the Department of Veteran Affairs. So I'm really in juggle mode, but I know it can be done because others have done it. So, so I'm just really trying to focus on those two to get started.
So when you're going to be doing some wholesaling, do you have a source of leads?
No, I've just been looking through PropStream. I don't have any source of leads. I'm like super new. I just built out, my business. So no, I don't have a source of leads outside of looking on PropStream.
Well, Angela, I know you're driving, so don't do it now. But maybe tomorrow, reach out to Cindy or myself on Facebook and send us your email address and the best way to get a hold of you. And we'll schedule some time and maybe we can talk about some lead generation ideas for you.
Oh, perfect.
Now,
Okay.
yep, there's another lady I talked to today from our group who's in your area. She's in California. More down by LA though. But getting into short-term rentals, and I'll get her contact information together, make sure it's okay with her. And maybe you two can chat. I'll put you together. Not super close. She's not also in Sacramento, but at least it's in the same time zone, right? At least you're in the same state.
Yeah. And with us here in California, just that's a hop, skip, and a jump to go up and down the coast. We're like, oh, that's 5 hours. Oh, that's just 4 hours. Okay. Yeah, that would be great. Thank you so much. I will do that.
Yeah. And stay in touch with us because we have some other speakers coming up. Oh, let's see, probably not until May because we're booked out that far. But we're talking about short-term rentals again and sourcing short-term rental leads and more arbitrage type discussion. So be right up your alley.
Yes. Wow. Great. Sounds good. Thank you so very much.
You said you're heading to boxing?
Yeah, I've taken up boxing. It's a
That's
good
awesome.
exercise. Yeah. It's fun too.
Excellent. Well, you have fun with that tonight. And keep us posted on your progress, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Do you have anything that you found on PropStream you want to talk about?
No, not yet. I'm just pretty new to it. I'm still feeling around and doing comparables and just looking at aerial views and just, driving by what I see. There's a lot out there. I'm starting to see some upside down houses. I just assume it's from, when the equity went up, people pulled money out and then their home price, the home value dropped. And now I saw a few homes that are upside down.
Mm-hmm.
So looks like that's starting again, but yeah, so that's as far as I've gotten.
Hey, Cindy, are you still there?
I am. I'm just, kids are around, so keeping it quiet.
Right. So just speaking with Angela, thought came through my mind, maybe we need to do a Zoom just on lead generation.
Sure. We can,
Kind of
yeah,
walk through all those. I know everybody's in different various stages of this, but Angela's a good reminder that some people that are with us are still the very beginning stages. So
sure.
we're running at our level, which, we've years of experience and know a lot, but we want to start from beginning sometimes too and redo that.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, we'll create one or we'll find somebody to kind of help with the wholesaling piece. Yeah,
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you guys so much.
absolutely.
Rebecca, I see your note about wanting to listen and learn. Is there anything in specific you want to talk about? Or want to know about?
Hi, Shane. No, I was just like, I've, been, looking over, a few, different things on Facebook and, listening. So I'm just kind of getting started myself and trying to learn what, all types of what's out there for real estate investing. I'm, I've done contract work the last couple of years, medical technologist, and right now I'm actually out on having had 3 different surgeries, foot, heart, and eye. So I've got some time off. And so just right now, it's just basically learning and listening and trying to pick out what's the best, best route for me starting out.
Well, first of all, I hope you're recovering okay. I hope
Thank you.
so you're also just starting out.
Yes, I've been interested for years, but of course, raising my children and then, working, and I, remodeled my own little house that I had bought. And, that's doing things like that, rehabbing, I would love to do. I just, financially getting into it, that's where what's the best option with the least to put in, especially now since I'm being out of, going to be out of work a longer term, and it's taking, some of my finances. So whether I need to wait a while or something, I'm just not sure yet.
Once again, Rebecca, what area are you located?
Well, I'm actually in North Carolina, you're Winston-Salem.
Yeah.
But I lived short term. I had a fiance that was in Florida. And actually I'm down here visiting now, but I would kind of like to get into the northern Florida area between St. Augustine down to Melbourne somewhere, looking. But I guess I do have a question. I was looking into, would it behoove me to get my real estate license to, because I was thinking the business aspect of it, or is that, am I wasting my time on that if I'm just wanting to get into, fix and flip or short-term rentals?
You don't need to have a real estate license for it. I know people who are realtors and have a profession of being realtors also do fix and flips and investment properties because they have the inside scoop on property.
Mm-hmm.
But you can find and source deals without needing to be a real estate agent.
Okay.
Because it's a time commitment, it's an expense. It's not necessarily taking you down the real estate investment path. But if that's
Right.
what you wanted to do as well as be a real estate agent, I'd say go for it. But if your goal is to be a real estate investor and do fix and flips in northern Florida, you do not need a real estate license.
Okay. Yeah,
Now, I know some people who are doing it very actively and doing lots of properties, and they carry a license just to save on their own closing costs. They represent themselves, but they're doing 50, 60 deals a year.
right. Well, it would be nice to have some partners in that. And that's, that's something else I was looking into, seem to get a couple of people and possibly do like an LLC,
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm just trying to figure out alternatives, ideas, and get a little more knowledge behind before I make any jumps or decisions.
It's been a while, but I had a couple houses in that area come across my desks probably about 6 weeks ago. I will reach back out to those guys and see if they have any more coming up. And we'll put you on the list. If that's what you want to do is fix and flip in that northeast side of Florida, we can find you a couple of deals and help you get started.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good. Sounds great. Appreciate it.
Rebecca, again, same as Angela, if you want to just reach out to Cindy and I on Facebook, make sure we have your contact information.
Okay,
That way we can stay in touch and see if we can't get you some properties in that area
okay.
and keep you moving.
Okay, Cindy, where is Cindy located? Is she on the California?
Yeah, no, I am on Pacific Standard Time, but I'm in Arizona.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
on Pacific Standard Time.
Well,
People ask me where Cindy's located. I usually say the golf course.
Yes, that's very
Okay.
true. I am, yes.
I
Yeah,
was actually, my last job, which I came back mid-November, but I was out in New Mexico working on the Indian Health Reservation there since, I guess, 1st of April through November. So I never made it up to Arizona. I wanted to, but
yeah, well, it's lovely weather now.
I hear.
Yes, it's very nice. The weather's very nice now.
And
But-
Shane, Shane's you're on the Atlantic side, correct? Aren't you?
No,
Where-
I'm in Michigan.
Michigan, okay.
Big body of water, but it's not salty.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't traveled up that area either. So like I said, I'm just here to listen. Anybody else and anything you want to talk about,
All right.
absorb, learn.
Hey, why don't we talk about what we're involved in and the stuff that we're doing and
Okay,
you want to start or?
Yeah, well, we have many pokers in the fire. And
Yeah,
where do you want to start?
well, that's why I gotta rein you in. That's why
So-
Shane and I are good partners together. Let's start with.
No. You pass the baton to me. You gotta wait.
Yes, I say we will get to it eventually. That's what I say.
I haven't told you yet, Cindy,
Yeah,
but I wanna, so while we're live here, I'll just show you.
okay. Oh, boy.
I got a HUD.
Oh, wonderful. I saw that. I saw your post. That's lovely.
It just came through, so.
Nice. Why don't we start with our like new venture of lending? Because we're all here buying real estate and everyone's gonna need money. So why don't you start and
Absolutely.
tell them that?
And it's a little premature because the website's not quite done. Imagine that we have a whole bunch of things going on. But one of the things that Cindy and I have been working on, see if I can copy this link address and bring it over. In our journey here in real estate, and what used to be the Ask Cindy and Shane, now it's called Creative Real Estate University. We get a lot of the same question all the time: is how do I get funding? Where do I find funding? So a long time ago, I said, boy, enough people have asked that question. I need to be the answer. So Cindy and I did private money lending for a while, but very, very quickly, we find that we have more deals than we have funds. We had to expand that rather quickly. And that's really what culminated in the beginning of this Facebook group. Is really, we wanted to create a place where we can go out and find additional private money lenders, help do deals. Took me down the path of loan brokering. Now, how can we be our own hard money lenders? And because of that, Cindy and I created a new company called River Life Holdings. I was Riverbend Real Estate. She was Lifestyle Holdings. Those two companies together, and that's what we came up with. The website's not done yet, but the application link. So the back end is almost done. But really what we've gone is we went and partnered with about 15 different hard money lenders across the United States and 3 or 4 larger private money lenders so that we can come up with really good options for fix and flips, construction loans, and long-term DSCR loans, or, for rentals. Still working on filling in the commercial piece. We got a couple options there, but I'm not happy with that being final yet. Our goal is once we have this ready, we're gonna roll it out to the group and just say, you have a project that you want funding, here's an answer. And the big component that I'm trying to find, which Cindy and I are working on, is gap lending. If we can figure out a good solution for gap lending, I think that would make a huge difference in our little community. Getting this done. Again, that gap lending being as you're buying a property, most lenders, like for a standard fix and flip, that's your first one, they'll lend 70% loan to cost or loan to value, and then do 100% of the rehab cost. Well, you still have to come up with that original 30%. Some people go to a private money lender for that amount, and that's called gap lending. And if we can figure out how to provide that for everybody, so basically then you can go out and find your deal and we can 100% fund it. Now we're on to something that's kind of unique and everybody's been asking for. We're getting close.
So normally what are the, how that's set up and, how long, I know it's like a short-term funding, but how long is that normally set up for the, how many months or whatever? Cause I know you've got so much time that you need to fix and flip,
Mm-hmm.
Get
Well,
it on the market.
Loans
Sold
and the
or rent.
construction loans are 12 months, up to 12 months.
Okay,
Now, those are all basically structured as interest-only payments. So it's in your best interest to get your project completed and sold. Otherwise, you have this carrying cost every month.
mm-hmm.
But most of
So-
those go 12 months without any penalty.
So are you paying monthly at least the interest?
Correct.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I did get a feedback from one lender who will do deferred payments till the end of the project. But he has a lot more restrictions on the front end, so we're not quite there yet. But
Okay,
be a nice one to have because then you don't have to worry about the monthly payment.
right. Well, I have, I've had my home since 2014. It's just a little over 1,400 square foot. I remodeled myself, but when I started working in New Mexico, I actually put my house up for rent through furnished finders for nurses, traveling nurses. And so they're actually renting my house out still. Even when I came back, they wanted to keep renting it and I couldn't turn it down because it was such a good, I'm getting $2,600 a month for my mortgage is a little less than 1,000, but I'm paying
numbers.
still. So, I'm
Yeah.
still clearing like 1,000 on that. So that's where I was kind of hoping to maybe just keep doing rental on that and fine. But, I'm kind of homeless right now. I was staying with my stepdad while I'm recovering. I'm actually, my surgeries and things. So, I kind of want to find another property to do with the either fix and flip and rental but my next I do have a question is like most places, if I'm, going to do like the rental property, I can't be in that property and get a loan on that. But
Correct.
if you have like a duplex or something like that, can I be in one side of it if I rent the other side out and still get a loan for that as a rental?
Depends on the lender. some of them really do not want owner occupied. Even on
Right.
you wouldn't be able to do it.
Mm-hmm. So I would need to just have something totally separate.
Yes. Or we have to take you to a traditional lender outside of the investment realm.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you have owner occupied, the loan has different requirements, and different licensing requirements.
Right. Okay.
That's why lenders who are specific to investment properties don't do owner occupied structure.
I was what I've sort of read and listened to, that's basically, and I thought, well, maybe there's a way around it, but probably more headaches than it's worth to try.
Well, if you're clearing $1,000 a month per door, it could be worth your while.
And that is true. I actually, my home in North Carolina where I'm renting it out, I actually have 2 huge hospitals that are within 15 minutes. And that's where I thought my nurses would come from. I mean, be working, but the nurses actually work an hour away from my home, and that they've leased it. This will be their 3rd time because they love it where it is. It's just right outside of city limits. I mean, I'm in city limits, but I'm in not in the city. We were annexed in. So I was thinking possibly a few more houses right there close that I could actually do the nurse finders rental, because it is bringing in more income than what a regular, Airbnb rental would be. And it's 13-week contracts. So, that was, if I could get a few more of those, be bringing in a little extra rental money than normal, I could get started with the fix and flip.
So what do you think? What would you like from us, from the community, to support you on that, Rebecca? Do you think you want more leads on properties in that area? Do you want some people to help partner up when you do get a deal? Do you need funding?
Well, that's what I'm thinking, as far as, like I said, I've raised all 3 of my children, so I never really had much in the bank from, doing it all myself. Had a ski accident, had to pull out my 401k. This was back in 2011, so I lost everything. Never started putting anything back. And I did have a little, build up from my last, and I was out of debt before last, and started working in New Mexico, had to get another vehicle. So, I've got a little, probably 3,000 credit card debt, and then a car, and that's all, between that and my mortgage, it's all that I have. And now that I've had to be extended out of for all these surgeries, that's eating up what I had saved. But thank God that I did have the rental property, that's covering my mortgage and actually my car payment and stuff. But I still have expenses. But that's, I'm kind of thinking, should I get started in anything now? Wait till I can get back to work and put a little more back for my nest egg, or find something and go for it, if I can swing it. I'm just a
Rebecca,
little scared.
can I say something?
Yes.
Because it sounds like you need now money, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So the best bet for now money would be wholesaling.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the best bet for you. Then you take some of that money that you made from wholesaling after you paid, you start saving your money, right? Then you can go start, buying your properties and whatever you want to do. But I would do some wholesaling first, get, 5 under your belt,
Mm-hmm.
and sell them, right? You can make anywhere between 5-10 grand, right? Even more, depending on the deal, and put some of that money in your pocket. And because it sounds like you need now money as well. If you find a great project while you're wholesaling it and you want to fix and flip it, you could reach out to Shane and I and, hey, I
Okay.
need help. I need help. What do we do? And then, we can help you, guide you, or maybe, we can even partner with you on your fix and flip,
Mhm.
whatever. Right? But it's not, just from what I'm hearing, it sounds like you just need now money.
Yeah, and it would be great to have, somebody like to lead me through the first few things that I actually do with the wholesale fix, or just till I get my feet wet. That's where I'm scared. I'm scared that I'm going to make a bad decision first go around, and then it's going to turn me sour, and I don't want to do that.
Rebecca, you're probably going to make mistakes. We all do. But you're going to learn from your mistakes. So don't be afraid to make the mistakes. Actually, it's good to make mistakes because then you learn from them. Shane and I are always learning from the mistakes that we make. So it's a learning lesson, a learning process. So, but you have our group, you have Shane and I, you can reach out to us. We should probably put our Calendly link up there too, Shane, that we have a new one now. And you can schedule calls with us. I will try and get it on the schedule to do a wholesaling,
Okay.
coaching
Okay.
as well. But, if I was in your shoe and I need now money, that's where I would start the wholesaling piece.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm not sure when I'm going to get to go back to work. It has to do with eye surgery. They've happened to delay the right one because they never got the left one correct. So, that's pushing me out. I was looking to go back to work in New Mexico by April, and that's going to be pushed out to July again. So, at least. So during that time, I guess I can start looking at the wholesaling. Just that would be great if you had something I could listen to, or online thing. Learn a little.
Reach out to me and we'll find you some kind of videos or whatnot, or we can
Okay.
just guide. Yeah, I mean, the best thing you're gonna have to do is get lists and make cold calls, and start just door knocking. That's what it is. It's door knocking. Right, Shane? I mean, I know you want to talk.
Yeah. Yeah. You see me over here fiddling. Da-da-da.
So I'm just gonna keep quiet.
I try to bite my lip a lot. So there are many different sources of leads, right? Everybody has a different tactic that they like to use. Some people like to talk to realtors and find depressed, houses that haven't sold, that have been on the market for over 100 days. Some people like to find off-market deals through realtors.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a great source. Or you have PropStream and Privy and a few other leads like that. Some people have used Nextdoor or Facebook ads to generate leads. Or we go down the list of pre-foreclosures,
Mm-hmm.
the realm of door knocking, or letters, or phone calls, cold calling. There's all sorts of other options there.
Mm-hmm.
It really comes down to what's your style and your preference, and what do you have time for, right? Each one of those could be a whole Zoom city, but I think maybe we just need to do a quick recap on those some night, and go into detail on each one.
Yeah. Well, we can get that. So maybe we can do like a special one, because it sounds like there's a lot of newbies and they're just looking for guidance. So maybe we can figure out a time, or even on like a weekend or something, to try to get that taken care of.
Sounds good. It's
Okay.
hard to do a Zoom showing door knocking, but we sure could do some using PropStream or Privy.
Yeah, it's pulling lists and then getting them skip traced and then calling. That's what it is. And that's what you could do. And
Mhm.
Rebecca, you don't know, do you know anything about subject to or seller financing or anything like that? Or is that new to you too?
Um, I've going through things, I've heard the terms, but as far as knowing exactly, I've forgotten already.
Yeah. Because the other thing you could do is you can do agent outreach, but I
Mhm.
would do agent outreach on a seller financing subject to if I was going to do agent outreach. Because they're going to want full cash price and they're not going to want a 60-cent deal.
Hmm.
But it sounds like you're new, so I would just start with, like I said, pulling lists from PropStream or Privy and getting them skip trace and to call, or just do a door knocking.
Hmm. Okay.
That's what I would do.
And if you need help skip tracing, reach out to Cindy and I. We can help you with that.
Okay. Yeah, right now I'm still not supposed to be driving. I've got another probably 5 weeks before I can actually do that.
So
So,
Dollars is out for you. Door knocking is probably going to be out for you.
yeah, for right now.
Get you on something like PropStream or Privy, or get you talking to realtors. Those are things that we can do for home.
Yeah. Yep. I see a couple more people that joined. I apologize. Aaron's daughter, sorry, is sick and he's at the pediatrician. So you get Shane and I tonight. I hope you're not that disappointed. I'm sorry.
we just
I see Cynthia's on. Cynthia, I haven't seen you or heard from you in like months. Are you still in Puerto Rico? You're on mute. Cynthia Gonzalez. She must be on mute. She's there. I see her. I see her beautiful picture.
Hi.
hello.
Hi. Hi,
No,
Ilya.
I am not in Puerto Rico. I'm in Florida, in Jupiter, Palm Beach County.
Oh, nice.
I am doing right now PML. I am lending a Georgia ring lady from the ring. We are doing right now, we did marketing with Lead Mining Pro, but the marketing, unfortunately, we don't receive distressed seller. So now we are trying to shift for probate, maybe in Georgia, or foreclosure in Georgia. But I am in Florida. We are in Florida, but we are trying, my husband and me, to shift the marketing to Georgia, because the PML that I am lending, we have a conversation last week, and she told me that maybe for me that I am interested in doing flipping, etc. In Georgia, there's more market than in Florida. I don't know, what do you think about that? Florida, the market for me, or maybe it was my marketing, that it was not too much distressed seller.
We have people
I
that
found it. Sorry.
we have people in Georgia that are marketing in Florida. So,
Oh,
That is true.
so yeah, and it just kind of depends on your market, your area, and your target. But there's opportunities everywhere.
amen. Amen. I begin in October in the ring. Begin in November. I pay for the mentorship. I have been doing a lot of meetings, meetup, etc. My marketing was with Lean Mining Pro, and I am thinking of continue maybe with them, but I need the list. Maybe I need the list. I have probate as well. But maybe I ask in the chat to see if someone knows about Real Estate IQ. What do you think about that? If someone have any feedback, because in Texas, there's one lady that is doing great with Real Estate IQ.
Real estate IQ. I actually haven't heard of it. Have you, Shane?
No,
They are they have in Georgia, Florida, Texas. etc. Yesterday, my husband and me have a chat conversation on a Zoom call with them. So I don't know. That's my present.
Yeah.
Hello. Sorry, Cynthia here. I was in mute because I was with Andy from Keighley on the other line. So sorry, I apologize. Hi to everybody.
No worries, Cynthia.
Yeah, I'll
So-
have to look up Real Estate IQ and see if we can't get them on to have a conversation with us.
Amen. They are very nice, and they talk to some of the ladies in the ring. Let's see,
Mhm.
bring them,
Yes.
see what they have.
So what states are they in? They in Georgia, Florida, Texas?
Georgia, Florida, Dallas. Let me see if my husband, because my husband was the one who talked more. I think that Charles, Chacha, the people from Real Estate IQ, ¿en qué estados están? Georgia, están en Utah.
Georgia, Texas.
Georgia, Texas.
Like 5 states.
Sí, only 5 states. Sí, only 5.
Well,
The presentation was awesome. The presentation was awesome. And I love the work that Lead Mining Pro did for me. I love, sorry, me and my husband get a lot of calls, a lot of text message and people saying, bring me an offer, but they were not distressed, the truth. The prices were either high and we were looking at the for land. They got a lot of, in Port St. Lucie, Vero Beach, a lot of land in that campaign, but not distressed sellers. The truth, not distressed sellers.
Mm.
So for 70%, 80% deals, no.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you
That's
actually, you should be doing 60-cent deals now.
Amen. That's
honest
what.
with
See,
you.
that's what they are saying. See,
You should not be doing 70-cent deals. Whoever's telling you to do 70 cents, you're gonna hard time selling. It should be 60.
imagine.
Yeah, okay, well, a real estate, they have a great presentation, but they're not giving you the greatest leads, so, huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's easy
Well,
to.
you have that advantage because
seller.
you speak Spanish, you have that great advantage. With
Yes.
distressed sellers, because you can speak Spanish to them. Is there,
Yes.
is there a filter where you can market to the Hispanic community?
Maybe if I went more south, maybe if I can maybe focus in Broward for Lauderdale. I was trying to look here. I was trying to look for maybe Broward County and the Lake Worth area. I love the Lake Worth area, but more to buy and hold. That's what I have in Puerto Rico years ago. Texas, mira, I have here what IQ have. Texas, Florida, Georgia, and Utah. That's the 4 states that they are mainly focused. But in Dallas, one of my friends have been doing a lot of leads with them. I can tell more than 6 in 2 months. Okay, and she closed with 2 sub 2. By the way, she's also Puerto Rican, and she was 2 Mexican that have a cash, something like that. And she wholesale sub 2. That's what she did. Yarelis. She's from Puerto Rico in Texas, and she's the one that mentioned me about Real Estate IQ. Going back to that theme.
Does she sell her deals sub 2, or does
Yes.
she keep them?
No,
Well, can you give us or tell her our information? Because we would like to have a shot at buying those if she's selling them sub 2.
yes, she did 2 wholesales sub 2 with Mexican. I can tell. Yes. Her husband is the one, but because her English is my English is bad, but her English is wow, and she know it. So her husband is the one. He works at the military. He's a military, and he's the one who do always the calls, etc. And I can tell them, both of them, to meet you. She's very nice, and she have been doing.
Yes.
She have 6 deals, and I can tell that 3 months she have been in the ring. She's doing great. She's doing fine in Texas. I don't know the area in Texas, but yes, and it have been with Real Estate IQ.
Okay. Well, you should go after the same area.
I talked to her, so she can maybe be my boots on the ground. I told her, and she told me, of course you can do it. put
Yeah.
a Dallas in my in the list, and maybe we can drive if you need. If maybe it's in another county, we can drive for you. She's very nice, and her husband as well. And but the person in Georgia, the one that I'm doing the PML, also told me, Ilya, with you and your husband, yes, we can do some. I can be the boot on the ground, so I can do the. If you found something here, and I am more near. I am near Georgia, and it's better for me traveling to Georgia than maybe Texas. So let's see.
Yeah, you partner up and you can make it happen.
Amen. Yes.
Ilya, are you still interested in buying in Florida? We find you a good fix and flip deal?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can do it. My husband is a civil engineer. He have been project manager in construction for many years. So I have him here with me. My past, in my experience, I have real estate investment in Puerto Rico for years. I have in my past Section 8 renters. O sea, I have a lot of experience in real estate, but I do the BRRRR 2 times, but I don't know, but I was not, because I don't have the knowledge. I don't know about the name, but I bought properties that have graffiti on them. I repair, I rented, I refinance, all of that I have been doing. Wholesale, never in my life. That's something new for me.
And are you only buying, would you only buy on the southeast side of Florida? On the coast there, or Miami?
Well, I prefer the East Coast, but for what we have now, we can do all Florida. Believe me, we can do all Florida. And because I sold my properties in Puerto Rico, all my income property, we sold the property in Hampton, Maplewood, here in Jupiter. That get in 3 years get an equity, a beautiful equity. We sold last October. That's what I am doing now, the PML, because that's what it was presented to me. And for me, the PML situation, I'm very nerd with the numbers, very nerd. And I follow Jason Cooper, that I know that maybe Cindy knows, Mr. Jason Cooper, the coach from the ring. I have been following his numbers. I have been following those numbers, and I have my spreadsheet that I follow. And I have been dealing with 12 deals and only one, this one, because it's a 70% deal. I took that, and I am helping her doing the flip. So that's it. That's what we have up to now in our plate.
We had a fellow student reach out to us this week with a rehab project. And I don't remember where it was at. Cindy, do you remember? Was it down by
Cape Coral?
There you go.
West Coast.
Yeah, I think it's Cape Coral.
Okay.
I can look real quick while you're talking.
I have other 2 ladies that reach me from Pittsburgh, one, and another now from Orlando, also from the ring, for PML again.
Yeah.
But I will love to do a flip. I will love to do it because of my experience and my husband. Believe me, we are ready. But we have to have the numbers.
Yeah. How many flips have you done?
In Puerto Rico, 5. The 5
5
houses that we bought and we rented for years and years. And I do it remotely, not the repairs. I do the renting part. I do it remotely. When I moved 8 years ago, on my properties, we continue renting until 2 years ago that we sold all of them. It was 8 properties.
Yeah.
All right.
That cash, tell me.
His property was on Cape Coral, Shane. Cape
All right, it
Coral.
was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're interested, we can send you that information.
Let's do that. If you can.
Yeah, he's a newbie, and we are having trouble finding him funding. He's gonna need a partner because he doesn't have the experience, but he wants to do it.
Perfect.
So he
If we
needs to
can
bring
do
a
it.
partner on, someone like you that has experience to get him started.
Yeah.
Perfect. If we can do a JV with him, it will be awesome. We have to see the properties, look for the numbers, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be a good thing.
Yeah, it could be, but I mean, yeah, it has to make sense for you. Could you reach out to me, on Messenger or, Messenger, on Facebook Messenger, and then we can connect again on that, on Jared's property.
Awesome.
Yep,
Will do.
yep. And, Cynthia, I know you just put your mute on, but Cynthia is also from Puerto Rico.
Yes, love it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
connected, Ilya and I connected via Facebook.
Oh, so yes.
We have a friend in common.
A friend in common, I know. How are you, Cynthia? I haven't seen you. You're off traveling the world.
Yeah, I just got back. Last time I was in Colombia and I was there like a month and so. Anyways, I just got back a few months ago. I think I got back in February, I think I did. So I've been just trying to catch up. I haven't really done any deals. So I'm trying to look for one. Haven't found the right one yet. So
What areas are you looking in?
I'm sorry.
Where are you looking for deals at?
Well, I would like to because here and just the west side of Arizona and also northern Arizona, especially northern, but the prices are too high over there. Still looking for those. That's my go-to. I really want one up there.
Like Williams?
For rentals, or are you looking for fix and flips? What are you looking for?
Fix and flip, and Williams, Payson, or Flagstaff.
Yes.
Nice.
Yep. Hopefully you'll come.
Are you wholesaling? Are you calling folks or
I'm calling. I'm
calling?
doing
Okay.
Yeah. I'm doing the calls, and it took me a while once I got back to get right on track again, and had to just like revisit the trainings, and I'm trying to catch up. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just taking a little bit longer. Are you going to go to the rain in July?
No,
life?
I'm not. No, I'm not.
I will go.
Are you?
You're gonna go? No, I'm not going. I got my kids and it's right during like the end of their summer. The kids start early here, school, so yeah, I can't go. I can't go. And so, but Cynthia, call me tomorrow. Let's connect, see how we can work together and how we can get you those northern properties.
Awesome. Yeah. Hey, any of you have talked to Andy from Kegley?
I've talked to Kegley. I haven't done anything with them though.
Oh, yeah. He was just calling me now. He was just asking, to see if we wanted to JV or something with him. And I told him I needed to get into this call because I had wanted to. I went to the last one, Cindy, you weren't there. It was where the arbitrage. I was there when Shane was talking.
Yes, but yes,
That was
I was there in spirit. I was there. I just, again, was with my kids. So, but I was there. I just wasn't there.
So yeah, I'll come to you tomorrow and
Yeah,
see.
call me tomorrow and let's connect because we need to catch up.
I need to.
Yep, we need to. Yes, so perfect. We have Marion. Is it Marion? We haven't heard from Marion or Sue.
Sue is there.
Hi,
Yeah.
Sue. Is there anything?
Hi, guys.
Hi, Sue.
This is my first time on this call, and yeah, probably, I don't know, it was 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the start, right?
7. It was at 7 p.m. But don't worry, Aaron Green, I don't know if you can see our side chat. He wasn't even able to make it today. So his daughter's sick. So we'll get him back on. But so we've been just kind of chit-chatting here, telling everyone a little bit about us, what we're doing and trying to find out what you guys are doing and how we can help and what you'd like to see from our little group that we have going on.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, the fact that the foreclosures was in the title that's really sort of the area that I have the least amount of education on. And obviously, you don't want to leave any stone unturned, but you got to find your lane and stick with it. I think it's crazy to spread yourself so thin. But I mean, I took the REIN education through, Teresa, I think it would be 2 years ago, this next month, April. And so far, I've kind of dipped my toe into a couple of different lakes. I've done 2 wholesale deals for sale by owner. I have a long-term rental, which is free and clear. It's a townhouse, which is currently rented. And then I have a fix and flip that is now currently on MLS. It's taken a long time to sell that thing. I have to tell you, market has shifted crazy.
Really?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
so I'm trying to, during this, as the market shifts and this transition occurs, I thought, you know what, this would be the best time rather than just jumping into the next thing. Let's really hone in the education. So I'm trying to really ramp up the education piece. So that's kind of why I am here, is to learn a little bit more about, what does the foreclosure market look like? What are people predicting it might look like as rates of interest go up, if there's going to be, if we think there's going to be an impact.
Yeah. Shoot. Well, I promise I will get Aaron back on. Like I said, he apologizes. Sickness has happened. But I do know that, I mean, he's really he knows everything about foreclosures, but, he did mention, I believe Shane, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's gonna be an uptick in foreclosures because of COVID. That
Still oncoming, yeah.
Yeah, it's oncoming. The assistance is no more.
Oh, I see what you're saying, right? So, okay, so no more government supplements, no more, funding like that. So, so how would, I mean, those supplements were not a lot, really, in the big scheme of things. I mean, did it allow somebody to buy a home, which would now go into foreclosure because they no longer have that support? I mean, I don't know. Is that truly a big element that we need to look out for because of COVID?
What we've seen in the foreclosure market, and I really enjoy the pre-foreclosure market because you're really helping some people out. But I haven't really been focused in that in the last 6 months because, as you said, stick to your lane, and Cindy keeps me in my lane, and we're focusing on other things at the moment. But what we've seen in some deals, they had forbearance during COVID, so you didn't have to make your mortgage payment. But that responsibility didn't go away; it just piled up. So when the forbearance requirements dropped, now all of a sudden we've seen people that had 12 to 14, maybe 16 months of unpaid mortgage payments.
Right.
Saved their money during that time, so they aren't able to go back and pay that off. So what we're seeing is foreclosures, or we can probably get the house under sub-2 contract, but we need money up front to bring the mortgage current.
Right. Yeah, this is Elizabeth. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi. I was interested too with the foreclosures because that's what I've started marketing. Well, hello. And when I first started REIN, I started about a year ago, about last March, and that's what I started marketing was pre-foreclosures, and I did close on one, and I was able to help a guy out. It was kind of a real touch and go situation, but I'm really starting to, along with learning about land flipping, I'm starting to do more foreclosure marketing. So I was really interested when I saw this one pop up, because there's so many dimensions, like you were just talking about, Shane, just that the forbearance, how many of them got behind, but their payments were stopped, but then it just piled up. And
Correct, yeah.
But when you go like on PropStream and some of these apps, you see that their dates were maybe last year, 2022, or even 2021. And so they maybe had gotten it's hard to say what the situation is. A lot of the loans did modifications, different things like that. I know when I did some door knocking way back, that's what I had some of them say to me, that the bank has helped them out and have done some modifications, so they were okay at the time for the time being. So, I was just so interested to kind of learn from Aaron. So I'm glad you're going to look to have him back, because I've just got about 500 postcards that I just sent out. And I'm working with another woman. We're going to start sending out more in our area. So I'm interested to learn as much as I can about it.
Good luck with that. Actually, this is Sue again. I have a quick question then for you. And I'm sorry, kindly tell me your name again.
Her name was Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Okay, Elizabeth.
Yes, hi. Yeah.
She had said something about land flipping and her learning. I just wanted to ask her where she's getting her education from in that regard. It's something else that I was just kind of interested to perhaps explore.
Mm-hmm. Through Profit Land Generator, I signed up with that. It's a home study course that I'm doing, and then I got another ring. Friend in my area, and we're doing it together, just learning it. And we've sent out probably about 1,000 leads on that. And I did my first campaign I did in Georgia and Florida. And I heard back from one county. They recommend you do like 6 different counties to begin with. And there was one particular county that I heard about back from about 5 of the different, leads, and sent out 3 contracts. Didn't have any accepted at this point, but I'm in the process, so it's a process.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I want to learn is the reason I bring this up is because, and again, it's all about figuring out what lane you want to be in, right?
It is. Right.
I have, for the last 1 year, I feel I'm so drawn to this land in California, Northern California, Eastern California. This is where all the forest fires and, it kind of happened in 2018 and 2020. So you
Is
still
that where
see.
you live? California?
No, I'm in Florida.
Okay.
But these homes, you see the driveway, you see the foundation, you see the sidewalk, they still exist, trees are starting to grow back, things like that. But people are starting to put like, mobile homes and there's some new construction out in California is like sort of $400 to $700 a square foot. It's crazy money. And in my mind, I just want to, kind of figure out, I don't have an exit strategy for this piece of land, but they're all sort of in that 0.23 to 0.35 acres. So anyway, I'd love to, kind of find out how it goes for you, Elizabeth, so I've seen that ad for Profit Land Generator.
I really like the couple. It's very good. It's very thorough, and you get a whole CMS system to go along with it, and it's a learning curve for sure. But I have real interest, so I'm trying to stay in my lane and try to focus and learn a couple of things. So this, along with the foreclosure, are what I'm really trying to focus on at this time. Anyway,
Well, keep us posted on your progress. If you
okay.
do start finding land deals, come back to the team and we'll see if we can't figure out how to help you move those properties.
Thank you.
Cindy and I have, through our lending process, probably about 80% of the requests that we process is for new construction. So we have a list
They're
of
builders
by state. So that's something that we're building.
Oh, wow.
That list all kind of ties into that. So if you have,
Yes, it does, for
let me know
sure.
and we can see if we can't get them moved through builders.
Okay, that's great to know. Yeah, it's good. Thanks.
Hey, we have Mr. James. Mr. James, Mr. James, I see you.
What's going on?
Hey, and Aaron was unable to get on this Zoom because his daughter is sick. And I know you have lots of experience in foreclosures. We only have a few people on because a lot of people, went off because the Zoom didn't really happen. But can you answer a couple of these foreclosure questions that
Yeah,
Shane and I
absolutely.
can't answer? And you guys, Chris James is all over our Facebook as well, our group. So if you have any questions, Chris can answer them now. Anyone? I know there's a couple.
Hey, Chris, before I forget, I need to speak with you later. Just like an hour or so before the meeting, a deal came across my desk. Are you still buying in Pennsylvania?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right, I have 2 houses and 2 lots all together. I'll reach out to you. You're the
Two
first.
houses, two lots. Do you know what part of PA?
Pittsburgh.
Phenomenal. All different parts, or more so, are they like jointly parceled and also surveyed, or not yet?
All 4 are separate, but they're all in a row on the same street.
Interesting. Okay.
And yeah, I'll tell you the long story there later, but it's if you're buying it, might be an opportunity. They definitely need rehab though.
How much rehab do you think? Or what's the land value, I should say?
I haven't got into the details because it was just before this meeting.
Okay, no worries, no worries.
So we had a phone conversation and so I'll get you all that and
Appreciate it.
yep. The power of networking, right?
There we go.
Mhm.
Chris,
Yeah.
Really
Gilbert
good.
here.
as far as foreclosures go, I understand that, you've had the experience and whatnot from somebody who's just starting to, put their toe in that foreclosure lake. What would you recommend as far as, from an educational standpoint and, what would be a sweet spot vanilla deal? What does it look like?
I don't think there ever is one.
Okay.
Transparently, because it'd be a perfect case scenario where the deal it makes sense, right? You
Mhm.
come across a lot of different obstacles, and dealing with foreclosure specifically, you will come across. Well, let's just say you need to have a lot of patience because they're in this situation for a reason, right? Whether that's
Mhm.
being behind on bills, whatever a life change of situation, whatever that specific situation is, we got to understand exactly what that looks like, and then see what the next steps to resolve it. And I know a lot of obstacles really come depending on what stage of the foreclosure, because there's a lot of different stages of foreclosure. When people hear foreclosure, they think it's one stage, but it's not really one stage. Because on a hypothetical, just say like you, Sue, they say, hey, you receive a letter from the lender saying you owe this amount. You may not care. Then also 2 months go by, you receive another letter. You may not care about that one. Then you receive another one like 6 months, a year. Then these letters start to change drastically, where it becomes a lot more serious. And then that's when they want to reach out to us and or sell the house, and then we're kind of running around trying to save their house, whether that's doing, sometimes you could do a loan modification, you could do a short sale if they're okay with that. You can there's so many different options you can do depending on the experience level you have. But usually a lot of go-tos, doing a loan modification, and or if they want to stay in the property, there's times where, again, if they want to stay in the property, they just ran on hard times. We may just do a loan modification with them and let them stay in the house without any kind of profit. And a lot of people mindsets where they come to us and say, hey, Chris, this lady's in this situation. How can we help them, and how much we're going to make? We may not make anything. We got to figure out the seller situation before, trying to even talk about how much we're going to make. And then that's what a lot of people start to drift away from these sellers and or situations, because they're only in it for the money versus trying to solve their problem there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I was saying earlier, Chris, the pre-foreclosure field is really a great one because you get to help so many people, right? It's not just real estate, it's really helping people, that whole branch. People are in lots of distress when they're in pre-foreclosure.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And it literally, it's kind of funny because I think a couple months ago I realized more so like we just don't know what people are really going through. Your
Right.
next door neighbor may be in pre-foreclosure and we don't know, right? And just literally just walk, it just opened my eyes to a lot of different things, especially, for Jesse and I, we switched over to pre-foreclosure. We actually buying a lot of pre-foreclosure properties. And I know we spoke about this on our podcast several times, but this literally just happened in Alaska where, I kid you not, the lady was in pre-foreclosure. She's an experienced agent, 20 years in the industry as experienced agent, licensed agent. She
Wow.
lost her husband, she lost her son, her niece, and a daughter all within a year. No exaggeration.
Wow.
And so that put her behind on hard times. And it got to a point where we spent literally a minimum of 45 minutes on the phone with her to figure out specifically, like, it was kind of funny towards the end, but 45 minutes, we understood the full picture of what was going on. She explained how she got in the situation. We were trying to figure out solutions. And then said, okay, no problem. We're going to get a contract out to you. And then we realized we hung up the phone. Well, actually, right before we hung up the phone, we didn't even know the address. Because another wholesaler brought us the lead and tried to fix the situation. We didn't have an address. We didn't know the condition of the property. We just knew we had to help her out. And the auction was literally in 3 days.
Wow.
Well, for like 3.5 days, but I would just say 3 days. But more so, that's the perfect situation where we wanted to figure out exactly how to help her. So we spent countless hours on the phone talking to lenders, the attorneys, trying to stop it, and or specifically just postponing to give us enough time to buy it. So it happened. We stopped the foreclosure, and not the guy, but the attorney specifically gave us 45 days to figure out what we want to do, whether we're going to catch with the rears, but resell it, or what that looked like specifically. Then we actually received a notice a week later from the lender, who actually extended not just 45 days from what the attorney stated, but actually extended literally 3 months. So that gave her some breather room, because I knew she needed time. She wanted to get out of she's in Alaska. She wanted to get out of Alaska, and she wanted time because you just lost almost your immediate family, right? So you want to take your time. You don't want to feel rushed. And we gave her the time. Like, literally, this is still going. We're supposed to close literally April 1st, but we moved it to May 15th. She's not ready, and we don't want to force her to do it. Although she understands this is going on, she may lose her house, but we're going to proceed to buy the property. Just we want to make sure she's not forced to go through the things in her house and whatever that looks like specifically. So to make a long story long, more story, just you really got a deal with foreclosures. You got to have patience, and you got to have a little bit more sympathy than other sellers. I know it's something you got to be able to mirror up these sellers, where just understand them. Don't just have the conversation just to get through the conversation. Oh, how much you're going to make today? I mean, no, you really got to understand their situation, figure out a solution, and then, even if you don't make anything or make a lot, that's the last, especially with foreclosures, we don't think about the money aspect.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you're getting experience as well, and you've got a story, and you've got somebody who's going to be totally indebted gratitude to you, and would be happy to put your name around. I mean, in the end, all this good karma is going to probably, hit your wallet somewhere along the line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that, makes Chris's long story longer. Again, as you talk about, what does a foreclosure or pre-foreclosure process look like? Every story is different.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
Everybody
100%.
has maybe a notion or an idea of why somebody is in distress, but you really don't know until you connect with them and get their story.
Yeah. You really have to develop trust. I mean, with them, that was really big.
Again, this pre-foreclosures tend to be very personal things. There's something tragic happening in your life. In order for them to share that with you, and some of the most sensitive parts of people's lives, their personal finance, their home, their family, to share that with you, you got to build that rapport. That takes patience, like Chris said.
Yeah, absolutely. And empathy, and understanding, like he said. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Chris, I'm sorry, you mentioned loan modification as being one of the, often offered solutions. Can you kind of just outline what you really mean by that?
So on a hypothetical, just say the seller owes about $60,000 in arrears, right?
Okay.
So there's many stages in the foreclosure. Usually if you're at the end, you know, where you're approaching auction, there's someone called a relationship manager that
Okay.
connects to the lender. Everyone has a Wells Fargo lender, you know, small bank, large bank, whatever that bank may look like. They always have a relationship manager. So you should be talking to the mitigation department,
Okay.
who also provide you solutions.
Okay.
And usually on the top three is always a loan modification.
Mhm.
So a loan modification, if he or she owes $60,000, that was if approved, those $60,000 will be put to the end. So basically, we're modifying the initial principal amount that's owed, and with the interest, we're putting everything on the back end. So basically, she doesn't owe all that money now. Now,
Oh,
it may increase the monthly payment or interest rates. Now, however, this only depending on if you got a VA loan. That's why I really love VA loans. Literally 6 properties I own right now is a VA loan. Literally a VA loan, because specifically like on a hypothetical, if this was a VA loan and it was trying to do a loan modification, sometimes they would delete or get rid of that's partial of the $60,000.
wow. Like a
So
write-off?
yeah, almost like a write-off.
Holy moly.
But it only applies for VA loans, nothing like, you know, how much you think like, oh, I got a conventional loan, make it work. But
Yeah.
but more so, yeah, that those kind of situations, loan modification is sometimes key, and or if the house is upside down, meaning, you know, the house is not worth a lot, and to say like the ARV is like 120, but you owe like 220. Sometimes you gotta do a short sale, and or sometimes they give you an option to file bankruptcy. I mean, phrases, they won't initiate the bankruptcy. That's like the absolute last resort.
Yeah.
File bankruptcy. And if you're going to do that, you need somebody who is experienced to have that conversation and or walk you through those steps, because there's different types of bankruptcies, right? You know, chapter 13, chapter 7, chapter 11. So there's so many different ones depending on what assets you have and what you actually have in your possession. That could really hinder a lot of different things going on. That's literally the last thing we want someone to do. So we're going to try to push for a loan modification, or we're going to try, if the numbers work out where we can just come out of pocket $60,000, that's what we would do. We would cash up the arrears. One would put it on the contract, let them know specifically, hey, this is going to happen. We need extension. So there's a lot of different ways you could frame it and or talk to these lenders and or the attorneys when having these conversations, because ultimately a lot of people think the attorneys make the final decision, but the attorneys do not make the final decision. The bank does.
Okay.
So Chris, do you see that write-off? Do they ever come back and have recourse back to the owner?
I have not seen it yet. I won't say it's not possible, but I have not heard or seen it yet in my possession, because now you're making me nervous with the properties I have. I may get a letter.
Well, that's amazing though. Then if the VA is, you know, writing that off and they're not going back for that loss, so that's really good for the person that was in distress. So
Yeah, Della, her name is Della. She's very happy. She's very happy. We was able to help her on that situation, and not just that. Ultimately, you know, our lenders, Jesse and our lenders on that deal was very happy, because initially we thought we was going to need about 90 grand to try to save her, including like the closing, holding costs, and also renovations. But it narrowed it down literally only to was $26,000 to be exact, $26,000, and it was just 26,000 plus the clothing costs and the holding, and that was it.
What a great-
much easier to come up with 26 than 90.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Wow.
So just, I have one more question, in reference to your best resource for identifying pre-foreclosures. Is this, you know, through a paid, you know, like a prop stream situation, or do you go to the county, or you buy lists from somewhere? Any particular resource that you like or you find is a good source?
A couple years ago, I would say you can go to PropStream or one of these affiliates more so, and you know, just get a list, skip trace it, and then call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's almost public records. It's free. You go down to your local county. No, I spent money on it, right? So go down to your local county. You could ask them for the list. and they'll give it to you.
Excellent. Do you have to give them, will they just give it to you on the spot and just print it, or do you have to give them notice, or?
No, you just walk in as a normal human being and hey, can I get the list for the list of foreclosures or that's going to auction soon or whatever your county may have a specific verbiage, but you literally just walk right in and they give you a free list and or specifically give you a website. They say, hey, actually you can go download this PDF and you can start. There's the list and numbers.
Not that I did a lot of it, but in Texas, when I was living outside of Dallas, I did Rockwall County, which I lived in, Dallas County. Only two counties I looked at. They're both online.
Excellent.
The first Tuesday of every month, I think is what it was. They came out with the new list.
Okay. All right. I'll have to dig around and find out. That's good to know. I'm glad I asked. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you don't even have to be in Dallas. You can just go online and get the information. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Are you doing pre-foreclosures in all 50 states?
Yes, we are doing all 50 states. We have now New Mexico is a little challenging, transparently. We haven't, well, from what we hear, New Mexico is a little bit challenging, but more so, we haven't actually physically received one that's in New Mexico to even say, oh, this is what's going on, this going on. But I'm just hearing, I should say more so like rumors. So I can't really speak on that. That's based on what they went through, not what I went through.
Are you seeing at any particular state having more troubles as far as pre-foreclosures as in the numbers?
Oh yeah, Florida.
It's
Florida's bad. It is bad. It's
Is
really
that
bad.
hurricane related or is just the state of the economy there or?
Oh, everyone's using an excuse of the COVID. It's still COVID to everyone.
Right. As we were talking about those deferred payments and everybody kind of got way behind. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and shockingly, some of these lenders are still using some kind of COVID relief program or whatever that looks like to help them out, and or extend for like 6 months to give you enough time to start making payments again. And yeah, it's 2023. I know COVID was like 2019, right?
It's amazing it's gone on for this long. Chris, are you actively looking for deals or you just have people bringing you deals in Florida?
It's about 80-20. 80%. A lot of people are bringing me deals, and 20% we have in our team like cold call and source those deals as well.
All right. So your cold calling team, if you don't mind us asking, how are they getting their leads? Are you calling counties like you were saying?
We actually have an inbound. I'm not going to say paperclip, but it's more so we have. What's the word for it? Almost like an SEO.
Yeah.
So basically, we have inbound, like people click on it, and then also they're actually ready to sell. So they may see like something like on a hypothetical, we buy homes, you know, as is condition, like on a Facebook or whatever the social media looks like. They click on it, fill up the information, and then our acquisition manager calls it.
So really, you're putting your ad out there. Use those big air quotes, and those people that are in distress are finding that ad and calling you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we had a couple newbies on earlier that are just starting out. But that's another good way. I just don't think they have the money to do it. Olga has a question. Olga, you gotta unmute yourself. There you go.
Hi guys, thank you so
Hi,
much
Olga.
for your time. Hi guys. First, quick question. I don't think I understood that actually right now I'm helping this lady. She has a VA loan. So what is that way where this is where when they're doing the loan modification, you're saying that there is a possibility that they will cut off some of the amount of those arrears?
That is correct.
Gotcha. And you just need to apply for it, or they already know to look after them once they see it's a VA?
So depending on the lender, they should offer that.
I'm working right now with Mr. Cooper.
Mr.
Mr.
Cooper,
Cooper?
I really dislike them, but I'm very familiar who they are.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Cooper, you should talk to their relation. Actually, Mr. Cooper
Uh-huh.
asked for specifically the mitigation department.
Yeah,
And
okay.
once you talk to that department, literally ask specifically what are all your options. And because usually they don't want to do that, right? They're not going to tell you that. You got to kind of force them to say, hey, what are my options to either
Yeah.
help the seller
Uh-huh.
and or whatever that specifically looks like. And I
Uh-huh.
guarantee you they'll give you the option of it.
Gotcha.
But they're rough.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be honest. They're pretty rough. I really dislike Mr. Cooper. I'm not a
Uh-huh.
fan of Mr. Cooper, but they're
Uh-huh.
not the they're not the
Not
best.
friendly. Gotcha. Okay. Chris, for future, do you JV with students? And let's say if, I have a situation like that, I mean, is there a possibility to JV with you and you would like help like a homeowner and stuff like that? I mean, how is your model work like if you do JV with students?
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely JV with everyone, literally everyone.
Okay, gotcha. All right. What do you think, like, so this situation right here, the home value is, let's say like 250, 270, right? And I don't know the condition because right now her goal is to keep the house. Arrears are a little over $51,000. So in case if she does not get approved for the loan, I mean, what do we do? I mean, it's not a real good wholesale candidate.
It's really,
That,
I'm sorry,
uh-huh.
I don't mean to cut you off, but it's very,
No.
very unlikely that it would be not approved. Even if you got a VA loan, the odds of getting approved are very high, extremely high.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Now, if you
All
ever
right.
get denied, don't take this the wrong way, but I think you did something wrong.
Gotcha. Okay. I actually got connected yesterday with this particular property with Giancarlo
Okay.
from Sub 2. So
Yep,
never
he's
worked
great.
with him, but he seemed really, really nice guy. But also, would love to connect with you for future because I'm also kind of targeting here. I'm in Virginia and I'm targeting foreclosures.
Oh, what part of Virginia? Please say Hampton.
Yes. Well, I live in
Oh my God.
Chesapeake, but Hampton is about 40 minutes away. Virginia Beach is like 10 minutes away, Norfolk 5 minutes away.
We're
I'm here in Hampton
that
Road.
is amazing. That is amazing.
Where
We definitely got to
are
meet
you in
up because of
Hampton?
this. No, I'm in New York, but we
Okay.
literally we're closing on a property, literally Hampton, right, like literally about I think 5 minutes away from the beach, and
Okay.
we're closing Tuesday on that. So we're super excited about it. We actually just created this entity called Life the Beach because that's that's right near the property, but it's right there. And Jesse and I was actually going to fly out there to go see the property and everything, and it was newly built, but it's pretty neat.
Nice. Well, yeah, when you guys are here, if you can give me heads up, can I message you on Messenger, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe give us like heads up, like a week or something like that before, and I'll put together a meetup here with the local guys. We meet every month, but we'd love to meet with you
Nice.
guys. You're amazing in the community, and that would be amazing to get to know each other.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely let me know.
Awesome. Oh, that's exciting. When do you think approximately you guys are coming here?
Probably in the end of April, because I know we got a couple engagements the first couple of weeks.
Okay. Yeah, please let us know. And if you have a couple hours to spend with us, that would be so cool.
No, absolutely.
Keep us
I'm
posted
definitely-
on that too, because we want to hear about that meetup.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank
you,
you.
everybody.
Yeah. Does anyone else have any foreclosure questions or any questions about anything? Okay. Before we go, anyone?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes. Who is this though? Who are
It's
we
Janet,
speaking?
and it might
Oh,
just
Janet.
say iPhone. I'm sorry, I had to switch to my phone because I had to run out.
Okay, no worries.
And I was daisy chaining webinars, so I was on a different thing before this. So I just want to understand, like in terms of, were you talking about that you're actually working with motivated sellers who are in pre-foreclosure, and you're trying to reduce the amount that they owe so that they'll end up with more in their pocket after you do the deal. Is that kind of what we're talking about? Because I missed something.
So that varies. Like if the seller, like on a hypothetical, I'm gonna go back to the $60,000 example. If it's $60,000 and then they're putting some of the arrears to the end or depleting it, whatever that looks like, and the seller wanted to walk away with like 10 to 15,000. If the numbers work out, that is a possibility. But the ultimate first step and goal is to try to save this house for basically no one winning, right? Like the seller, I don't want to have the seller kind of find somewhere else to stay and or specifically be put out in the street. So then to answer your initial question, I just want to make sure I understand the question. Actually, let me make sure I asked it very, actually go ahead. I'm not gonna.
Well, I think I understand that you're saying first and foremost, we want to give them options and help them to keep their house, right? Which I love. Like I'm absolutely, a fan of that. And then secondly, though, it sounded like, and I didn't know if I missed something, you were actually saying like, you don't have to just take it at face value of they owe this much in arrears, because it's possible that could be lowered and you would still do a deal with them. That's where I was kind of like not clear.
So it all depends. If they want to stay in the home, then that's a different alternative. Versus if they want to move and they need time, our objective is to stop this foreclosure and give them time to, figure out what they want to do, right? And so I think you're asking two different questions though. So I just want to make sure I understand clearly. Like you understand the first steps, but the second steps, are you asking about like, is they going to stay in the house and receive some kind of like payment to them, or vice versa? Are you looking like after we stop the foreclosure, are they going to receive some kind of lump sum of money to go
Yeah, I mean,
on to the next set of
in some situations, right, if they don't owe more than what's owed on the house, then they could hopefully come away with some money in their pocket. And I had never looked at it as a situation where you could actually increase the amount of money in their pocket, not even with giving them a bigger offer, but with figuring out how to reduce the amount that they owe. I don't know if
the numbers got to make sense either way, whether it's up, down, whether it's balanced, just more so the margin's got to be there. I don't think anyone in the world is going to buy a property over its value if it does a cash flow or if there's no kind of benefit and or exit strategy, right? Like on a hypothetical, if you approach me and say, "Hey, Chris, I want $30,000 to walk away from this property. What's the next steps?" Okay, we're gonna put agreement in place for $30,000. We're gonna do our due diligence to see exactly what ways we can help you. And at the end of the day, we're gonna let you know, hey, these are the numbers we're seeing. Hey, just to let you know that we actually had to come up with a little bit more money due to some discoveries, whatever that communication looks like. And maybe you still get your $30,000. 9 times out of 10, you still get your money. But based on, long story short, based on all the numbers put together from renovations to the arrears, the closing costs and all that stuff, that does play a factor. So the seller, we can come to agreement to a price, but thoroughly, we like to break down, be super, super transparent, exactly how much money and what work is going into this to get it to the finish line. And 9 times out of 10, they're very receptive to what the situation is. I hope that cleared up a little bit things. I feel like I didn't answer the question a little bit.
I think sort of, but there just was like a little element there that, of being, especially maybe if it's a VA loan, that you could actually lower the amount that they owe and then still do a deal.
Yep. So So even just say we go through it, we lower the amount, got approved for a lower amount. What's the next steps in your eyes after that?
Well, then you make an offer based on, well, maybe you already made an offer? I'm not clear. I don't know.
Yep. So every situation is different. Sometimes they already have an offer in their head, or not offer, a price that's already been discussed, and or specifically sometimes the situation, we're just understanding the situation. We don't know exactly what they're going to get until the end. That's why it's not, I hate to say it, but it's not really cookie cutter for these foreclosures because of the
Yeah,
fact that we just don't know.
yeah, and I
Like,
totally understand that. I
it's
just had
just that,
never thought about the idea of reducing the amount they owe to put more money in their pocket. And I was just trying to flesh that out.
now the goal is not just to put money, like, I just want to make it very clear. Maybe I wasn't clear on that part. Maybe this will sum it up for your initial question. So if they owe $60,000 and just say on a hypothetical, everything got removed to the back. So there's $0 owed.
Oh,
The goal is
okay.
not the goal is not to give you 60,000, give the seller $60,000. I just want to make that clear. So loan modification, the goal is to try to save her from the foreclosure and stop the auction and all that stuff, extension, whatever that looks like specifically. If the $60,000 get moved to the end, great, phenomenal. Now let's talk about the next steps. Do you need help with movers? We did it in California. We literally got a U-Haul truck. We got our movers and everything. Not her, I must say him movers, and we literally spent about $3,500 and moving her literally about an hour away. And then we did give her $15,000. But it's just like every situation is a little bit different. And
Right.
I hate to keep saying that. I'm sorry if I'm like being
I
repetitive.
totally understand that completely because every person is different and every loan is different and every house has a different value and every neighborhood is different. I completely understand that. But it just was another way of looking at it than I never considered. But it sounds like you're saying that even doing that loan modification didn't end up putting more money in the person. I like the idea of putting more money in the person's pocket if possible. And I don't understand when you're saying that that's not the goal. And you know what? I apologize because I got into this too late probably, and I don't want to waste everybody's time. So maybe I'm just confusing things.
So let me ask you this: just say like you're the buyer, I'm the seller, I'm $100,000 behind, and I need help getting out. My house is going to be gone in 4 days. Are you with me right now? I just want to make sure. So
I'm here.
$100,000.
I'm here.
$100,000 owed. I'm about to lose my house in 4 days. So you come to, and I say, hey, is there anything you can do to help me? And you're going to provide solutions. And then I say, hey, by the way, just to let you know, Jeanette, I want $50,000 to walk away from this house. What would you say if I owe $100,000 to this house? I'm about to lose my house in 4 days, but I'm telling you, I want $50,000. What would be your response out of curiosity?
You're saying as a seller you want $50,000 like in your pocket to walk away?
Correct.
Oh, well, I'd say that those numbers just don't work out.
But how do we know?
If you owe 100.
But how do we know? That's what I'm getting to, because we're still like, if we do a loan modification, right? We do a loan modification and then they agree to move that $100,000 to the back. I only wanted $50,000 at the time. Now I'm going to go back to you, Janet, and say, hey, actually, no, I want the $100,000. Are you going to give me a $100,000 down payment?
I sincerely doubt it, but I suppose you need to really run all the numbers. What is the value of the house, etc.
Yeah. So it really all depends more so where I'm getting at, because it just, some sellers understand that you're helping them to do a service, and at the end of the day, sellers can't be greedy. And these kind of situations, they got themselves into a situation where specifically they know they should have been paying their bills on time. Let's be transparent, right? They should have been paying their bills on time. And sometimes you got to be I don't want to say cutthroat, but you have to be very blunt with the sellers, but not in a rude way. Not in a rude way. You got to be compassionate, understand their situation, but at the same time, let them know that, hey, I have to be truthful about the situation. This is the next steps. This is what I think I can get you, but no, it may be in this ballpark. So that's one thing I don't do, is literally specifically guarantee, oh, if you ask for $30,000, I'm not for sure if I can give you that. Okay. But I would do my best to try to get you that amount to pay based on the numbers. And I'm very, very, very transparent with my sellers.
Yeah.
Would I
I think
love to
it
give them as much money as possible? 1,000%, but it's just, it's kind of, I kind of set the expectation, especially up front, talking to sellers, like, hey, this is the deal, this is the next steps. We're gonna try to do this, and this, and always giving the what if factors, so.
And again, the two things working against the seller is time and arrears. So if
Right,
it's
so
4 days and $100,000, the chance of them getting money to walk away.
sorry, I can't hear you. Can anybody?
Yeah, I
Hello?
can hear him.
Yeah. So when the seller has very little time and, you know, lots of money owed, the chance of them getting money to walk away from a deal goes down significantly.
I know that I would probably say that we have to apply for bankruptcy if it's a 4-day thing, just to put a hold on the.
Well, why
on
would
the
you want to,
foreclosure.
why would you want to do that when you could stop an auction in literally hours?
Okay, well, I didn't hear that part then, because that's another strategy that I learned somewhere else. But again, I don't want to be confusing things because I didn't hear everything. Sorry.
No, you're good. No, you're totally fine. These are great questions and great things to, that we all, experience and learning on a day-to-day basis. Is more so, that's what I said, the power of our community and the people we work with, we can stop auctions very quickly. Very quickly. Get in touch with the right people and communicate effectively to the right individuals exactly what needs to be done. I know for a fact you can stop auctions. We did it. We did it in Alaska. The one I was, we had 3 days, 3 days, and we stopped it.
Who exactly do you talk to do that?
Which part? Stop the auction or talk to have those conversations?
To stop an auction?
Depending on the lender specifically, and or the attorney, depending on the state. But you kind of want to have the right conversations, because if you say the wrong things, then they're going to deny you and not take you seriously. More
But
so.
you have to actually put it under contract before requesting that, right? Or no?
It's preferred, but you don't have to.
Uh-huh. Do you have a coaching program that you're talking about when you say your community?
No, as far as the community I am, Jesse and I are, I'm not for sure if he maybe spilled the beans already. That'll start the Q3, but but no. So the community I'm talking about, like Pace Morby's community, I'm one of his Love 2 mastermind students, and also I'm in Cody Sperber's community as well, along with Alex Martinez. So
Okay.
I'm in a few different communities, but when I mean community, like having the right individuals around you and working in JV and just to have those quality conversations with those individuals.
Okay.
Yes, I'm personally looking forward to work with you, Chris.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Well, when she's talking about working with you, what does that look like then? I'm just curious.
So we can JV, and then initially we get that deal to the finish line, whatever that looks like specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And so that depends on what the deal looks like, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And are you letting people know how to contact you?
Cindy,
Oh
put
yeah, my
over here on the
contact is
chat.
it's in the chat. It's on my screen. I'm all over Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
You're everywhere, huh?
I'll post it again just so it's on the chat
If you have
side.
a hard time getting a hold of Chris, you can reach out to me. I'll get a hold of him.
That is true.
All right, it's good to know. Thank you. I'm in a couple of other communities, but not the ones you're in.
No worries.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, we've been on for about 2 hours. Just want to give one more last go around. If anybody has something they want to bring up while Cindy and Chris here.
What time zone are you guys in then? Because I joined at 5 thinking that I was right. I joined a little after 5 because I'm in Pacific. What time zone are you all in?
I'm in the Eastern Standard Time, as is probably Chris, depending on his current location. But
What happened was Arizona's kind of funny, and my computer, when it set the the time. I was on Mountain Standard Time when I set all these meetings, but now I'm on Pacific Standard Time. So that's kind of what I wrote on the, I think I know I tagged everyone in it, that I said at 7 PM Eastern and 4 PM Pacific. So.
Oh, I didn't see that part, but anyway, I apologize
Okay.
for being.
No worries, it's not a big deal.
Daylight savings got us again.
Daylight savings, Arizona, always.
Time zones are so complicated to me. Anyway.
But we will make sure the future posts are all corrected and we'll go on from there. Appreciate everybody's time tonight. Chris, it's good to see you again. I'll send you those properties in Pennsylvania.
Sounds like a plan, man.
All right, now I gotta catch up with Jesse too on some things, so I'll give you guys a call tomorrow.
Sounds like a plan. You guys have a great night.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye, thanks.